Welcome back to As the Rabbit Descends Down the Hole. As we continue on with Moses, we discussed about the golden calf and the law and things of that nature. Now we're gonna get into a little piece of that law that I think everybody needs to pay attention to, and is not like step on some toes. Some people might get offended by this, but it needs to be addressed. So Moses gets law. Remember, I said there's 613 laws, and basically what those are is he's addressing the nuances of how people interact with each other and things of this nature. Well, there's something very interesting that is said. Moses says, "Do not oppress the foreigner, for you were foreigners in Egypt." Okay? So he's saying don't do things necessarily that are cruel. I think that's the best word. Don't don't do things that are cruel and exploit just for the sake of doing it. Okay? That doesn't mean let everybody in, because it also says Deuteronomy 28, which seems to get overlooked, verses 45 through 48. It says, "The foreigner will rise higher and higher above you and will overtake you." Did you hear what I said? If you do not obey, the foreigner will rise higher and higher above you, will overtake you. He will rape your women. This is what the Bible says. He will rape your women. He will overtake your men. He will steal from you. He will destroy your land. But wait a minute, I thought we weren't supposed to oppress the foreigner. What God is saying, because you got to balance everything here. What God is saying, don't look to start trouble, but understand a foreigner is someone who doesn't worship your God. They don't have your value system. They don't have your way of life. They don't live in your community. They don't have these things that you have. And they will look to take them from you. Be wise. It's a balance of things. I mean, think about it. It says, the Bible says, okay, so he's talking about immigration. Immigration is a hot topic, you know. He's talking about, don't just go out to enslave these people. Don't go out to be how Egypt was to you, where you're just going out and doing these things. That's what it's saying about oppressing foreigner. Doesn't mean just let them come in and you get everything. Beware of the foreigner that's at your gates, right? Beware of them. Don't let them overtake you. If you do not listen to me, they will overtake you. They will infiltrate you. They're not looking to assimilate. Think about this. Okay? Since we're on this topic. What does Paul write later on? Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers, right? Paul addresses this in several different ways. That's probably the most common one, though. What does Jesus say? Well, Jesus says, if you, and this is misquoted so much. Jesus says that, if you give a drink to this little one, you give a drink to me. If you give a food to this one, you give a food to me. You're doing it up to God. And yeah, that's in there. That doesn't mean give up the house. It doesn't say Rome. It doesn't say Caesar. So it's not the government that's doing this. It's there's a balance to things, and I think that's what people aren't understanding. There's a balance. That verse is so misquoted. He's talking about believers taking care of other believers when they need help. That is his audience at that time. Read the entire thing in its context. That is who he is addressing. He's not just saying be a free for all. You know? Because, okay, if that's the case, if you believe that's the case, then please tell me why Jesus also says, what does he command Peter to do? Do you know what it was? He commands Peter to take your money, hold on to your money. Jesus says, I'm going away. I am going away. Hold on to your money. And what does he tell him to do? Go get a sword. That's what he tells him to do. And Peter comes back. I'll get two. Jesus said, that's enough. You got to protect yourself. You got to protect yourself against people who are not going to assimilate into your way of life. You are worshiping a God, right? You are his ambassador. You are this. This is who you are. You are not this person. What is it that brought Solomon down? Well, he had a bunch of women, but most of those marriages were political marriages. It's questionable if they were actual marriages because it was the way that politics ran back then. So that's a whole another thing to get into, you know. It meant that there was peace between these two people. But what did God say? You let all these foreign gods into this house. Is what he said. You let all these foreign gods into this house. It has corrupted everything. You are corrupting all of it. You know? It's not a free-for-all, man. No country in the world can you just show up and go, you know, give me a house, give me this, give me that, and you're going to pay for it, you know. And the ones that have done that have found out. I mean, look at Sweden, man. Sweden was one of the safest country in Europe back in 2014. Safest country in Europe. Like, it wasn't even close. And people didn't even have locks on their doors. Now look at it. Now look at it. You know, I don't know if you know this. It's the most violent country in Europe. In a very short amount of time, gangs have taken over. Stockholm had 316 bombings last year. Stockholm! Are you kidding me? More bombings there than there is in Baghdad. I mean, what is going on here? It's incredibly violent. You know, I'm sure everybody's heard about Britain, you know, and all the problems they're having. Foreigner will overtake you. They don't worship your God. God's been saying that all along. He's not trying to be mean. Look, they have their own spot. If they want to assimilate in, fine. That's called that's opening up the family. That's increasing your tent. Things of that nature. That is great. You want to assimilate in. Bring them on in here. But how many of them are actually doing it? And this is God's warning. You know, it's cause and effect. There's a term for, I believe, axiophobia. I believe it's a psychological term. You know, with this of allowing this to happen. I mean, it's just it's mind-bending. But God addresses this way back then, and you see this progress through the Bible of allowing these foreign gods into your house because they are corrupting you. Right? Islam is a foreign god. Right? Hindu is a foreign god. These are foreign gods. These are not the God of Israel. Right? Never has been, never will be. So, you know, you need to really pay attention to these things. That's all I'm saying. And if you do, things are going to get a lot better. So, all right. Hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.